So it looks like we're still missing our cleric.
Looks that way.
Alright. We'll just have to take turns playing him until he gets here or doesn't get here. So but we're going to need a cleric, that's for sure. If I have to play him, I'll play him. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. Does anybody want to give us a recap for last week? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll go to Shad.
Alright, thank you, Hunter.
We started our adventure in I can't remember the name of the tavern, but we had all just got back from helping a friend of my character, Aerith. We had all got back from helping him on a mission with his boat, and a gnome walks in and hands Dwarven a a book, and it was his dad's book, and it tells about this island that apparently has these two gems of mysterious power and riches to dwarves. And through that, we end up on our next adventure. So we all say our goodbyes and everything, and that next morning we set off. And along the way, let's see, we got hit by a pirate ship. I can't remember the name of the pirate, but he got his ass kicked pretty bad.
Yep.
And we
Blacktooth.
ended up, yeah, we ended up stealing his boat
And now it's
and
your
sending
boat.
him. Yeah, now it's our boat, and we sent him back to Waterdeep with Drake, so he could collect the bounty on him and fix up the boat for us. And after that, we made it to the island, where we met the peaceful tribes, and were led to their village, where Dwarven's character got to hear about the what his father was like there, and we got to find out that the prodigal son is missing after going hunting after these ships that have been like circling the island and never returning. And we also found out where the temple is, where we think the gems are. I think that about covers it.
Yep, that was the inn that you guys had originally started was the Happy Griffin. Stupid, one of the stupid names from when we used to play D&D as a kid. I know there are actual names of the taverns in Waterdeep, but kind of wanted to throw in my own name there. And now you guys have a small galleon. Drake has escorted the ship with the remainder of his crew back to Waterdeep. So you will have to come up with a name for your ship. That's if you choose to name your ship. I don't see why you wouldn't. You can decorate it up, whatever, add some additions. You can build onto it. You can modify it. You can do whatever you want. It's your ship, y'all's ship. Right now, you're where you left off. This is the morning of your first day on the island, and Mira of the Hawk, the tribal chief of the village of Tarnoa. Everybody has gotten up and is around one of the campfires in the Hawk clan, where her basically her living quarters is, and she informs you that during the night a raid was set forth by a band of pirates or slave traders on the neighboring southern islands of Panatube, Usi, Dawa, Karikuka, and Buruwa, and Mora as well. About 20 villagers from the neighboring clans are missing people. So there's about 20 missing people between all of the islands. Pretty much all of the uh, watchtower guards and the outer perimeter guards of the villages. So they are all missing now, and she seems to suspect that it has something to do with the mysterious ships that are traveling sort of a northwest along the coast, where we have the purple arrows there on the bottom of our Isle of Dread map there. So she thinks that's where the actual slaves could be. Well, the actual villagers. I don't want to call them slaves just yet, because they have not been sold into slavery as of yet.
Gotcha.
And one more side note: all of the southern villages are pretty much of the Terranova clan as well, and all of the if you look at our village map here, they are basically all of the villages are identical, except for the Great Wall and the tar pits. The actual village, on the bottleneck here, it's the only one with the Great Wall, obviously, because of its the small neck of land between the mainland, the main island, and the island here that everything else is connected to. So, but they're pretty much identical. They have the same beliefs. They practice the same religious tendencies and all that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, considering that, I think our first priority might be to get to the bottom of the slave trade. We can't leave the villages undermanned and undefended for long. Otherwise, we won't have a safe place to come back to.
Yeah, they said that. Mira has said that it's been good. The actual stability and the peacefulness of all the neighboring tribes, they've never had a problem except for the last several months. So, she's definitely concerned with that. She doesn't know if she's next or, whoever is next. But they can't afford to lose any more villagers because there's just not a lot of them. There's probably about 40 to 50 per village. And when you start taking those numbers, it seems they dwindle fast.
Yeah. Then finding the missing villagers definitely has to be our first priority. What does everybody else think? Is everybody else there?
This sounds fine with me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
My character would probably do that anyway, since he used to be a slave, or was born into slavery.
I don't have any objections.
And I think we'll start hunting for the slavers. Are there any like people that they didn't capture that maybe saw like what direction they were going?
She actually has no intelligence. Well, not intelligence, but she just doesn't have any information. She was notified in complete darkness in the middle of the night when the other villages, they were switching watch shifts or whatnot, and the previous shift was just gone altogether. So it's happened several other times, but and then she informs you of that as well. So, but overall, over the last several months, there's probably been about 50 villagers taken from the surrounding villages, including Doran, which is Mira's grandson and inheritor of the throne of all of the islands.
Okay. Then I guess our only option is to hug the coast and follow the way the purple arrows are going. Try to mimic that path. What do you guys think?
Well, we could head south and see if any of those other settlements maybe have any additional information, or even maybe try to get captured ourselves. Kind of I'll like try to set
Yeah,
up make ourselves look vulnerable.
that's
Not
what I was
necessarily get
thinking.
captured, but just reverse ambush.
Yeah, like if we hunker down in one of these villages over here, then we could, at the very least, we could like capture one of the slavers.
Sounds like a good idea.
Is there a certain island that you or village that you want to actually go to first?
Well, I think we'd want to go all the way down to
Panatube.
labeled as Panatube. Yeah.
All right. You have it. You guys. Wish Mira good luck, and you'll see her soon, hopefully. And you guys set off.
Yep, and we promised to get to the bottom of this.
She says, "You better, or I'm gonna voodoo hex your asses." Anyway, you guys make it down after several hours of travel. It wasn't too bad. It was you guys are pretty much traveling on a nice dirt road. Well, to the standards on this island, on the edge of the tropical jungle. And you get down the Panatube, and you basically come into a same identical type of village. Like I said previously, excluding the wall and the tar pits. So.
Okay. I want to make sure like my cloak is covering my weapons and stuff. Like I don't want to appear threatening. And do they have any like guards stationed, or are they that undermanned?
They've got about a population of 30 villagers, and Akahu actually greets you, which is basically the equivalence of a city sergeant, and he takes you to the chieftain. And the chieftain's name is Anapa.
Yep, and while they're walking, Aerith will look at Gem and say, "Lead the way, dwarf. Your father knew these people."
Okay. Well, we're not really tracking anybody yet, but I think we just need to kind of get that's. I'm looking at the kind of where the red arrow goes, and that's assuming that that's actually a road, or is that just a path?
It's an actual road. It's not a trail. It's not a road. It's basically a trail. A nice hard clay trail.
Okay, so we're looking at 2 days travel by the road.
Oh no. It takes you just several hours. It's a very quick travel.
Okay, so that's each one of those hexes is still 6 miles, right?
Give or take. It's a quick travel though. You didn't have to worry about navigating through jungle or massive hills or swamp or mountains or anything. It was a quick travel.
Easy terrain.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we'll just, as long as we're headed down that direction, we're going to get into Panatube, and we're going to, I think really, do we experience anything along the road travel there?
No, it was pretty peaceful because the villagers actually have patrolling, scouts in their areas designated to the village, and they usually have hunting parties out and everything. So on this main island here, on this small peninsula, there's really not a whole lot going on. It's like Mira had said, the interior of the large island, it's not as tamed as their island is, because they can actually control this small island. They can't. That's why they don't usually go several miles past the Great Wall, for hunting parties and everything. And most of their sustenance is from fishing anyway. So.
Well, maybe
Gotcha.
maybe I misunderstood a little bit about where where they're actually being kidnapped from. I assume that was from the south.
They're
It
actually
is,
being,
but I think they're like taking ships, right? Like they're hitting them on the coast.
yeah, they're basically hitting all of these small islands. So you know, it's like she told you that they've been uh, missing about 40 to 50 villagers over the past several months now.
Right, right. But I guess maybe I just assumed that they were being captured on in the southern peninsula there in that little area, or are they being captured outside the city? I thought for some reason I'd gotten the
On
impression
the
that they were.
Well, the all of the ones that have been disappearing have been when they're on their watch or in towers on the outskirts of the actual towns of the villages themselves.
Okay. So of all during the entire travel, we didn't notice any watches that should have been there that weren't or anything like
No,
that.
everything was good. You had actually word of mouth has gotten around throughout this peninsula that there are visitors, which are yourselves. So you basically had no confrontation or anything like that. It was free travel basically.
Okay.
All of the villages have a pretty good communication system between one another. You don't know if it's by magic or what, but they do have a
It's
good
clearly
communication
voodoo.
system. Yeah.
Okay, so we reach Panatube. Does it appear to be a similar type village as far as I guess for lack of a better word, the way their town's built, the
Oh yeah, they're all
harbor.
identical.
Yeah, he said it
the
was.
trade area.
Yeah, he said it was like the exact same as this map up here, except without the Great Wall or the tar pits.
Okay, but it's not like a trading harbor or anything. It just happens to be close to the water.
Yeah, basically, there's going to be water on the west side of the village. I just don't have village maps for every single village,
No, I was just curious. It looks positioned potentially to be like a trading post, and I'm just curious if that's what it appeared to have more activity for that than the other place did.
Yeah, they really don't do any trading whatsoever outside of the neighboring villages. I mean, there's a few tribes. There's a Neanderthal tribe in the main peninsula. There's I think it's a Rakashan, which are sort of like cat people. There's a tribe in there. They do some trading with the other tribes on the interior of the island. But as for long distance trade, as in merchant ships and everything, no, they hardly ever see anything. It's the Northern Galapagos they're so out of the way of everything. It's pretty much just left alone. Except for the mysterious ships that they've been seeing.
Yeah. So who among them has seen these ships?
A lot of the villagers in Panatube have seen them, and that's probably the reason why that they've been chosen to have villagers taken, is because it's a pretty much an easy access for any pirates or brigands or any kind of intruders like that. It's very easy accessible. I mean, it's just.
Do they have any watch posts at the southern tip of the island?
Yeah, there's basically one tower on the walls, and then they have there's basically 4 towers outside of the village as well. So, but
Well, I meant like towards the south of the island, like south of the village. That hex all the way at the bottom.
no, basically just whatever's in the villages.
Okay.
So if we're gonna maybe try to do that, where we set up a, sort of a
Then
trap
it-
to get us caught, we can do it down there.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best thing. Like we go undercover as like a guard post crew, and when something happens, boom.
But what happens if the plan goes wrong and we end up captured?
Well, we're going on an adventure then.
I could hide somewhere and try to free you guys.
Well, I think the best thing to do would be to not have the whole party sitting there, say
Exactly.
around the campfire. Have the halfling outside of because it would be obvious that it wouldn't be a villager if the halfling was there.
True.
Well, he could be disguised as a child.
Have the
That's true.
halfling and the
You
elf.
could do that as well.
That would work.
Oh my gosh, who does not have a headset?
That was me. I have it off. Sorry.
Okay, I was just wondering.
You're fired.
Okay, so sounds like we enough of us want to maybe try that we could get some clothes or some garb from the village that would allow us to sort of dress up, our existing selves and get some campfire. The idea would be to make ourselves sort of look like the lazy outpost that's a little too visible.
Okay.
Maybe at night with a big bonfire.
A little too, not so vigilant.
Sounds good. I mean, you'd have plenty of time. It's you left at 6 o'clock in the morning equivalent. So I mean, you traveled about 4 or 5 hours. So it's still before noon. So you have plenty of time to, construct travel to the coast, well, to the very southern tip of the island, plus set something up. You have plenty of time. Plus the villagers said that they would help you out as well with whatever you needed, because they do want to get to the bottom of this and they want to get their people back, if it's at all possible at all.
If you guys want to set up the guard post, I can go scout out the southernmost point.
Yeah, I'll go down. Well, let's. I'd rather not us split up yet. Let's just gather all the things that we think we would need and all travel down there during the day. Try to do what we can to get set up and, decide who's going to play what role. If anybody's going to be hidden, or if we're just going to kind of sit there and, have one person do watches while everybody's kind of playing around and, whatever.
Mm-hmm. But we don't need to be all the way at the southern tip, though, because they always hit pretty close to the village, if I'm understanding what you're saying right.
Correct.
Well, it's
We need to be like at a
6
halfway
miles
point.
or something.
Yeah.
The chief at Napu said that he'll give you some small 20-foot. They're going to be 20-foot long canoes with detractable masts, and they said that they can travel really quick in this water. So he'll give you whatever he needs and whatever you guys need. A couple small boats to get down there.
Yeah, well, let's do that then. Let's get our gear. Let's travel a little bit away from the town. I don't want them to not attack us because we're too close.
Right.
And I'd like it to be obvious that we're the only campfire in the area, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think it's a good idea, but if you guys insist.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, and if we go down there and the first night goes, we don't have any hits on us, we get in the boats and we start going ourselves. My concern is that once we get out on the water,
We're sitting ducks
we're
for an
sitting
actual
ducks,
ship.
yeah.
I'm kind of with Gim on this. I'd like to be able to capture one of them and get information before we get out in the water.
I kind of agree. Especially if they have ships and stuff.
So did you tell Drake to pick you up in 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
3.
3 weeks? Okay, gotcha. I knew it was either 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep, it's 3. But yeah, we load up the canoes and head down.
Okay. Alright, you guys guys get to a nice nice area, I'm gonna just uncover just a tiny bit of this map. So it's gonna be just bear with me for a few seconds, everybody.
You're good, dude.
Okay. Alright, we're going to say this is the very tip of the island. There's a little bit of jungle there, and it's basically the best part of the very southern tip of the island, to where you can actually kind of get up on the shore without having any kind of trouble whatsoever, because there's a lot of cliffs and a lot of you know, overhanging cliffs that you're not going to be able to, to get 40-50 feet up a cliff to actually get to the land. So this is actually the only true I guess you could say a sandy beach type of entrance to the tip of the coast. So we'll say this is, actually let me pull a boat out real quick so you guys all went in one boat, because it was a 20-foot long boat. We'll say that, here you go, there's your boat here. And you can actually magnify this up to about 100% to where it's not too small. So we'll say this is where everybody's at right now.
Sounds good.
You guys go ahead and put your miniatures wherever. Someone want to control Lorimar?
I'll do it for the first go around, I guess.
Alright. I can also help as well, so also Will, you're here as well. So
Oh, alright.
So do you guys plan on just having like a campfire and?
We want to make the fire a little bit bigger than just a regular campfire.
Sort of like a bonfire then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Almost like a signal fire.
Yeah,
So that
and
they know the guard post is there.
yeah, and I'd almost think we need to almost make it look, as much like a celebration as we can or whatnot. If we've got any kind of, can kind of get our, get some, I don't know, get some of the tree branches or something set up and, kind of light, like a tiki fire or whatever, and kind of light, additional torches around it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys set up any kind of tents or anything?
Yeah, I'll say I set mine up, just for appearances and stuff. I'll have it like off over